After working on this truck for a little over a year now and having driven it half a dozen, maybe closer to a dozen times, I realized this morning that my wife has never ridden in this truck. Not once. After all the test drives and whatnot and trouble I've been through, she's been there to save me, but she's never been in the cab when I needed saving. So I want to change that. I want to take my wife out on a date tonight, and I'm taking her in this, which means I have like no time to get this fixed. This truck never ceases to let me down. Roosters. This truck never ceases to let me down. Every single drive I've ever taken on this thing, I've had issues. Some really severe and some not so bad. I've made it home every time, but only by the grace of God have I done that. I need to fix that before I take my wife out in this thing. I think I have narrowed down... Anyway, I think I have narrowed down the issue to a vapor locking issue. I can't figure out what else it would possibly be other than the carburetor getting too hot. I need to get that fixed before I take the wife out. It's fine if I'm just by myself and this thing breaks down. That's a different story. But if I'm trying to take my wife out on a date in this thing and it breaks down, that's going to put a huge damper on our night. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing tore apart, see if we can't get that vapor locking issue fixed before we leave on our date. If anyone has seen any of the videos on this truck, you'll know that I put the world's cheapest carburetor on this engine. At the time, I could not afford the correct carburetor for this engine, so I bought an Amazon knockoff for $100. And it runs and it drives for the most part. And I feel like I need to play around with that a little bit, but I think a lot of my issue too is that the fuel line is getting hot. So I got some heat wrap to put around the fuel line. I'm going to take the carburetor off while I've got the fuel lines unhooked. We're going to adjust some stuff and see if that makes it any better. The problem is that I'm not going to have any time whatsoever to test this truck before we leave. I literally have like 2 hours to do this. Well, hopefully y'all can see. My camera's being stupid. And that chicken's being very vocal. I mean, rooster. That is the spiciest rooster I've ever met in my entire life. You cannot mess around with that guy. Probably should get a slightly more modern oil filter for this thing. Or, not oil. Not oil filter, air filters. Probably get a little bit better air filter for this thing. But I genuinely don't care at the moment. It only leaks oil most of the time. Well, that's not good. There was zero fuel in the fuel line. Oh, fantastic. Great. Take the choke cable off. Get out of there. Why did I have to bend it like I was supposed to? I wonder if the fuel bowl is leaking or something. This truck hasn't been sitting very long. It should have. Dang. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, this thing hasn't been sitting very long. It should still have fuel in the fuel line, but I genuinely think that I need to put a carburetor spacer on here. And I'm probably right, because I'm smart. The problem with these inline sixes is that the intake and exhaust manifold is basically one piece. Now they're not, but they are bolted together. So you get a lot of heat coming up from the exhaust manifold. And I'm worried that the heat is heating up the carburetor too much. Come on, baby. You think I'd be able to do this without looking by now. What I absolutely love about trucks is they come with their own built-in table. It's really, really nice. Normally I wouldn't care about getting gasoline all over my hands, but I don't want to smell like gasoline all night long, so it's probably too late for that. Here we go. Alright, I got the carb all cleaned up. There was a little bit of rust inside of the float bowl, so I cleaned all that out. Got it all put back together. I did adjust the float a little bit. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. But while I was cleaning the carburetor, monkeying around in there, I realized something, and I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not. But when I first got this truck running, it did not have a carburetor on it. I had no idea that it was sans carburetor. So that's why I bought the cheap Amazon one. But when I opened up the hood on the truck, I found this. This is a stack of about 6 or 7 carburetor gaskets glued together. They were just sitting there over the studs on the intake manifold, and I wonder if these are being used as a spacer for the original carburetor. There's literally no way to know, because I've asked Brian, the person I bought the truck from. We are good buddies still, and I asked him and he has no idea. He doesn't remember ever doing this. So I think eventually I do want to put a carburetor spacer on the truck, and that will probably make things a little bit better. I don't feel comfortable using this. I couldn't tell you why, but I don't like this at all. And honestly, I could tell you that I still have this a whole year later because I am a hoarder, and I thought maybe I would use it at some point if I got super duper desperate. But I tell you, I'm not there yet. And they're not all even the same size. The one at the very back of the stack actually has a smaller bore diameter than the rest of them, so there's a nice little ridge right there. So yeah, I don't think this is the right way to do it. It is a way. Yeah, I've got this DEI heat sheath. It is massively too big, but it is the size that O'Reilly's had. So this is the vacuum line for the advance on the distributor, and it is connected to the fuel line. So I need to get this unhooked here. Perfect. I don't know that I'm ever going to use that again, but I'll save it. Now this is going to be a task and a half. Yeah, I don't especially love that the fuel line is routed close to the block in between the distributor and the block itself, and it goes underneath the way it's routed sucks. Sorry, my head's out of frame. The way it's routed sucks. It's really dumb. And it's not going to stay this way forever, but I want to see if this will solve my issue here or not. And it would be super duper cool if it did. I'm also having a small misfire problem with this truck, so I'm sure that that's not helping my cause here at all, but I don't know if I have time to really monkey with that today. You know, all of this is temporary. None of this is staying here. But I just want to be able to drive this stupid thing without having to pull over every other block and let it cool off so I can get home. So that's where I'm at. I think that's good enough for who it's for. Time to put the carburetor back on. Hopefully I lost only half of the washers and the other half are still here. Once again, I cannot see anything. Did I get it? Oh, I did. I did. Oh my goodness. Struggling a little bit. I'm struggling so hard. The nuts on the studs hit the body of the carburetor unless I hold it up. At least until I get them ran most of the way down, and then it's not so bad. Oh, I just got the inevitable "how much longer" phone call, so we better hurry. We're getting there. I'm gonna put back on. Hey, kids, see I'm trying to make a video over here? Spicy McChicken over there. To get the choke cable put back on, I can get the fuel line put back together. Yeah, I really wish I had... Oh, hush. Really wish I had some more time with this thing. I'd love to check the timing, make sure the points and everything look good in the distributor. Make sure the timing is doing the stuff. Seems good enough. Okay. My neighbor put one of those like chicken bark collars on his rooster. I just heard it kick in. No, it didn't work that time. Oh, that was funny. He was like, oh, fun stuff. Yeah, we were right about there. Really wanted to get rid of this fuel filter, but can't find my extra fuel line anywhere. So it's just gonna have to be what it is. Cool, everything's put back together. Get the air filter back on. Excuse me. Anywho, pretty much there. Seems good. While I was adjusting the carburetor, I did richen out the mixture just a smidge more. Last time I did that, it seemed to help a little bit. It wasn't surging quite as bad, so maybe if I keep richening it up. The problem with carburetors is that usually when they come to you from the factory, they're set up for sea level, and I am vastly above that. So, really hoping just a little bit more fuel will make it a little bit happier. I'm actually gonna... There we go. Just a little bit more richer. I gotta be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of these oil bath air filters. They work, don't get me wrong. They work, but they are messy. You get stuff everywhere. You know, they don't look particularly good. They really kind of only filter out the big stuff, you know, bugs, pedestrians. Oop, something. Got it running again. Sounds pretty good, but if I stab on the throttle, it hesitates. It doesn't really super duper like that. So I wonder if I do have an ignition issue. It's not the best, but it is running. I think I'm just gonna chance it. I don't know what else to do with it. It seems to run okay. Obviously it ticks when it's running. I don't know why it does that. Other than the exhaust leak, it almost sounds like it's got a valve tick, but I'm not necessarily all that worried about it. So, yeah, no, it'll be fine, I think. So, I'm gonna get cleaned up, truck-wise and person-wise. We'll get ready for our date. Hopefully, we make it wherever we're going. Successful date night. It was great. Stayed in a hotel overnight, and now it is raining, and we realize that no windshield wipers.
Well, no wipers.
Yeah, I totally did not expect it to be raining, so I can kind of see, sort of. I know where the lines in the road are, but that's about it.
It's a little foggy too.
It's a little foggy because the heat doesn't work, and seat's wet because the windows leak.
But it was a good time.
Yeah, we had so much fun. This has been really good. Now we just have to make sure that we make it home. I'm not worried about the truck breaking down. I'm more worried about hitting something because I can't see anything.
Oh, it's leaking right here too.
Oh, right onto the dash. Dang it. This is a fair weather truck. This is not when it's raining truck. It's a good thing we're having fun, because if we weren't, this would really suck. The leak in the middle of the windshield. Oh. Jeez. I told myself I wasn't going to drive this truck anymore until I actually fixed some more like stuff, like the cab mounts and the misfire and all that other stuff, and here we are. This is hilarious. I just dropped Whitney off. I'm on my way to get some energy drinks at the gas station, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't actually tried to turn the windshield wipers on. I turned it on, and the passenger side one doesn't work. I knew that for sure, but apparently the driver's side one works, so now I can see. So I've been driving all morning with no windshield wipers when I have half windshield wiper. Wow, I'm an idiot. Well, made it home, had a successful date night. That was great. It was actually really nice to have Whitney out in the truck for the first time. She loved it. I loved it. I loved that she loved it. It was really good. You know, couple small hiccups, but we're over it now. Like I said, the windshield wiper on the driver's side apparently works, but as soon as I pulled in to the driveway, the wiper fell off of the arm, so it's sitting right there on the hood, and there's nothing there. I don't know why the passenger side doesn't work, other than I know that the arm just kind of like flops willy-nilly. It's not actually connected to really anything. But truck ran great. You know, I don't know if any of my fixes actually did anything because, well, it's cold out. This thing only really has any issues when it's warm. So that remains to be seen, but it definitely still needs a ton of work. The cab mounts are terrible. They really need to be replaced. There's a new vibration in the drivetrain that I don't necessarily like. So that needs to be investigated. Hopefully it's not the rear end, because when I do the engine and transmission swap, I was planning on keeping the rear end, but I might not be able to. So we'll have to diagnose that later. But I'm very happy with how it went. So is Whitney. Had a great time in the truck. It's a fun date night truck. It's very loud and makes lots of scary noises, but that doesn't matter. It just adds to the fun.